Hello
Hi.
GK, I'm a technical panelist with AcuCert. I've been asked to verify your candidature for a developer role. I understand that your proficiency is with Java, so today I'll be asking you questions to check your knowledge of the language and your coding and design skills. So if you're ready, I can start with the questions.
Yeah, sure, Ricky, we can start.
Okay. So my first question will be bit of mathematical and algorithmic nature. So I would like you to write a program which can do a to the power of b. So given two numbers a and b, you should be able to give a to the power of b.
Okay.
So first of all, I would
So,
like you to write the prototype of that function, and then maybe we can discuss, and then you can start coding.
okay. So I'm taking long hair,
Okay.
provided if the resultant is long.
Mhm. Very
And we'll be returning something here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
You want
What?
me to start coding for this now?
No, I would like to hear your first thoughts. So, how do you think we'll go ahead with solving this?
Okay. So simply, if I'm thinking about a number x raised to power y, or let's start with x square. So
Hmm.
what we are simply doing is x into x. And if we look at x cube, we
Hmm.
do x into x into x. So that means that we need to multiply the first
Hmm.
number of times the value of y is there,
Okay, fair
or
enough.
b in this case, as I've written the parameter name as b.
Okay, fair enough. Can you code that up?
Sure. So it will look something like this.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. Can you tell me what is the complexity of this code which you have written?
So this will be on because we are going to traverse it till b.
Okay. So can we improve on this?
Mm, maybe we can, because in case of, say, if the number is larger, say if it
Hmm.
is x raised to power 4 or something,
Yeah.
what we can do is we can do x square into x square. So x
Yep.
raised to power 4 can also be written as x raised to power x square into x square.
Yeah.
So we
Exactly.
can use recursion and try and change it.
Okay. So what is this methodology called? I mean, what are you actually doing? So when you are,
So I'm going to use recursion for this.
hmm,
So we will call the same function, and the results will be stacked, and every time the function is exiting, it will multiply with whatever is the result, and finally when the all the function calls finish, then we'll get the result.
okay, fair enough. So what would be the complexity in that case?
I think it should be log n.
Okay. In terms of A and B, it would be log of A or log of B.
It should be log of B because B is what we are going to reduce by half each time. That is
Oh,
the power.
that's correct. That's correct. So if you can try and code it up. By the way, this methodology is called divide and conquer. So we're dividing.
So I just do a rough to see how I can do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it is x raised to power 2, what I need to do is x into x. In case of x3, is fine because we'll have to multiply it 3 times only because we cannot reduce that. X raised to power we can reduce because we'll be doing x into x and x into x, something like this. So if we equal to 0, is it done? Because we have to check for the even number here.
Okay.
The last one, if the B value is an odd number, the last one will be left out. So that
Yep.
we'll have to deal with separately. We'll have to just multiply that number. So maybe we'll do a percentage to there.
Okay. Fair enough.
And we call power the P by 2. Okay. It's okay. So I just quickly dry run this to see if I'm doing it okay.
Yeah, sure. I think that x variable which you have written should be A.
Yeah, I'll have to change it to A. Is equal to 0 equals return 0 and this one 0. Yeah, I think this should work.
Okay. Can you remove the non-used statements?
Yes. Let me try and and I don't need this also here. Unless we'll be creating one variable for each method call.
Yeah. So there's just one problem with this. Although this is actually solving the purpose, but we are not yet reducing the number of computations. Can you tell me why? we are doing even now we are doing O1 computations instead of O of log n.
Maybe because I'm calling this method twice here.
Yes,
Is
correct.
maybe there's a way to actually change it to even call it once.
Yes. Can you tell me how?
Yeah, 1 second. So I can keep some variable here and maybe multiply the result with that and return it each time.
Yeah, that should work.
And use only one of these method calls.
Yeah, sure. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking how to do that. So if in case if it is a bus free returning 1, if it is a raised to power 1, we come here. This case in case of a raised to power 2 is power, we come here. This time multiplies 1 by power of e to power 2.
What if I use a temp variable for storing b to that a comma b to the I mean power of a comma b by 2? I can use the temp variable for storing that information, and then I can do temp into temp.
Yes, we'll have to store this result in temp because each time we'll multiply it with temp. And then in the end, we'll be returning temp variable.
Are you sure?
For sure, I'm just trying to dry run and see if this fits. If it is a square, it comes here. We just put percentage to split here and we multiply by a equal to minus a equal to is 1. So multiplies by both temp. Maybe I should initialize it.
You can tell me what you're thinking.
I'm just trying to dry run and see if it works for all scenarios or not.
Okay.
So if it is,
what are the variables you are replacing it with?
So I'm first just checking it with a square.
Okay.
So first time this is a is any value and b is 2 basically.
Okay.
So we come here, b is not equal to 0. What we do, b percentage 2 is 0, 2 divided by 2 is 0. So it comes here. Temp, if we keep it as a, it will be a into power of ab2. That
Correct?
means it goes back, it calls another with a and 1. In this
Yes.
case, it will come into the else loop where it
Yes.
will multiply a with temp, which is not right. So,
So it becomes temp becomes a square, which
yes,
will
temp becomes a square, but when it returns back to this call,
it becomes a into a
a
square.
cube. Yeah, so that is not right. So, if we keep temp as 1, this should work.
Correct?
I'm checking with a cube.
Hmm.
So, in this case, first time it is B percentage root is a cube. So it will come here. And it will return a into 10, which is a, so 10 becomes. Next time it comes with just return, it will not do anything else. Maybe this should do it.
Okay, let's try with 2 cube. So now a is 2 and b is 3. And so b is equal to 0 is false. So we go to line number 10. Where
Yes.
a remainder of 2 is equal to 0 is false. So we go to line number 16.
So it becomes temp in this case becomes
And in this case become 2 into
a into 1 into power of ab again.
yeah.
So it is currently a into 1 and it makes another call here. Okay. So now it calls with a b by 2, which will be 1
Okay.
because this is int value.
Yeah.
So when it comes back here, again it comes inside this.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, it multiplies again the temp value with a. So it becomes again a into a. No, so it means it is
A square.
a square.
Okay, let me kind of take you back, and can you remove this temp call optimization, and can you go back to the original state in which you are, I mean, multiplying the power 2 times?
Yes, we can do that. Should I again change? We'll keep this and I'll write it again.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, let's have a fresh copy.
So we can go back to that again.
Yeah. So now the only problem which we both can see is we are multiplying this function 2 times. What if
Yes.
we store the result of this function in some variable and then multiply that variable 2 times? You getting what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is, in case if we define temp here,
Yeah.
and I call this function, and then instead of this, I return temp into temp.
Correct. In this what?
Yes, this should work. And similarly, we'll do it here as well. So we'll just make the function call once to get the value.
Now, one more optimization which you can do is not a time optimization but a code beautification. You can remove this line number 39 and 33. You can actually merge it into one line before the if statement.
Yes, so basically we can do this here only.
Yeah. So this will it work?
Yes, this should work.
Can you guide me through, let's say, 3 to the power 5?
So 3 to power 5. So first time it comes here, p is equal to 0. And we have temp as power of
3 comma b by 2, which is 2. Okay.
Okay, so here in this case the call will be again made here, and we have 3 comma 2 which comes in. So again we'll have temp, because it is not 0, temp will again call for 3 comma 1. So when we come here, it will return a into temp into temp. Once again, when it comes in here, it is 3 1. So this will return 1, because next time the call will be temp equal to 3 comma 0, because we are saying 1 divided by 2. So next time temp is going to be 1. When it goes back here, it returns 1. And since in this case it was going in the else part, it will return a into temp, which is a.
Which is?
And
3. Which is 3.
Yes, which is 3. 3 into 1 into 1.
Correct.
So because in the last call temp was 1, because b
Correct.
was 0.
Correct.
Okay, and when we come back here in this call 3 raised to power, because this was %2, it will return a into 3 into 3.
Which is 9.
Yeah.
So now in the first loop 3 comma 5, the temp value is 9. In the first code block, the value of temp is 9, right?
Yes.
Fair enough.
So
now,
it should.
can you write that down? Temp is 9 when the value of a and b is 3 comma 5. Okay. Now let's move on to line number 33.
Okay.
So b reminded to a is equal to 0 is false, because b is 5.
Yes. So it will become 9 into 9, which will be 81.
No, it won't. It will go to line number 39, right? Because
b %2 is not equal to 0, it should go here.
Yeah.
So it should become 9 into 9 into 3.
Yeah. actually 243. Which is 3 to the 4. So yeah, I think that should work.
Okay.
And since we are dividing and conquering, this essentially is log of p. Okay, fair enough. We can move to a new question then.
Okay.
And we'll clean up the details. Okay. Yeah. So my next question is a kind of open question. I would like you to first of all think and then kind of tell me your thoughts, and then maybe we can code some parts of it. So my question is: you have seen a phone book in a smartphone or any kind of phone. So what it gives us is you can store numbers along with names, and then you can search numbers by first name. I mean, you can give the first name, first initials of a name, and you will be able to get some numbers, and then you can actually select a number and print it. So I would like you to think about how would you go about and design a phone book. I think you will need it. GK, I'm not able to hear your voice because I think I'm not.
So I think the structure for this should be something for a hash map where you can do a easy search. But since we in phone books, like typically if you just write J, it starts giving back the names or whatever. So it cannot, if you have to do a search, it cannot just be a hash map with where the key has to be named. So, and other thing is, I'm not sure, but maybe in smartphones, what also we should do is that whenever you're typing, say J, K, the ordering can be something more of the numbers that you frequently call rather than the alphabetic name. Okay. So, is that also required there?
No, I think we can for now go ahead with only the lexical ordering of the names. So we don't kind of track this number of times the number has been used. So we can leave that for later, and then maybe when we'll have time, we can solve that as well. But for now, we just care about the lexical ordering of the names.
Okay.
And I mean, first thing which I want to understand is when you said hash map, why did you choose hash map over maybe, let's say, a list or a tree or a heap or whatever data structure you might know of? Why did you choose map out of the lot? I mean, why do you think map is a good data structure in this kind of scenarios than some other data structure?
So basically in list, if I have to store all the number and value pair, if I have to search for it, I have to traverse throughout the list. So in case of hash map, since it stores key value pair, maybe the iteration and retrieval will be easier, is why I was thinking that hash map would be a better choice here.
Okay.
So I am just thinking how to go about it. Because
so let's assume that we cut down the prefix scan. I mean, let's assume that you have to actually type the entire name to search it. How do you think you will do it?
Say if I have to search a name Radha or something. Okay. In that case, a simple hash map would do, because the key can be the name and the value can be the number. But yes, if there are more Radhas,
Hmm.
then we have a problem. What we can then do is, in case of in this case, maybe the value can again be a list where you can have a number of different radhas
Okay.
added.
Yeah,
So the
that's a
structure
good
I'm thinking
assumption.
of is if, so for example, if we have a name is Alex
Hmm.
and number 98 blah blah, and
Hmm.
then we have some another guy with Alex.
Hmm.
What I would do is, are we going to store say only one number for that person, or it can again be multiple numbers?
Let's assume that we have one number per person.
Okay, so in this case, this can be actually a list which can have multiple number in case the person this name person we have multiple.
Okay.
So uh, then we can maintain a list,
Hmm.
or actually we can maintain a list in any case. If there are multiple numbers, we know there are multiple Alex. I know,
Hmm.
but in case if it is just one number in the list which is stored, this is one person with that name.
Okay. How do you solve so the name is stored in a case a sentence that is the first letter is capital and the rest of the letters are small letters, but I can search with any casing. I can search with small letters or
So
capital letters.
So what we can do is when we are inserting, we can change it to the uppercase entirely. And when we are searching, we can again change the search to uppercase, the word what we have entered to uppercase and then search it. So
Okay.
that way it will be consistent, we'll be able to search it.
Okay. That's a fair thing to do. What do you think the complexity of this search operation is? Okay, what data structure exactly in Java would you be using? Would you be using a standard map implementation?
Yes, I was thinking of using a hash map.
Okay.
But if we are going to use it, and this doesn't require multi-threading and all, because on a phone book, person will only have one contact open at a time, and they're only searching for one name. So I don't
Hmm.
think we need to worry about all that and use hash table. So hash map should do fine. And since we don't even need the order preservation for the how we are storing numbers and what orders, so I
Hmm.
think hash map should do for this.
Okay, fair enough. So, what is the complexity of adding a new name or searching for the existing name uh, in your data section?
So typically in this case, because searching or retrieval is based on the hash code which is generated.
Hmm.
I'm not sure because we don't have to iterate through the entire hash code.
Hmm.
We'll once we enter the name,
Hmm.
we can calculate the hash code for that, and we can
Hmm.
directly go to that address. So I don't. It will be O1 for I think in this case.
Yes, it is pseudo constant I mean data structure. So you'll mostly be O1 most of the times.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that should work. Okay, tell me if you are searching and the name is not present, how does that work in your data structure? So let's assume I'm
Sorry,
searching
can
for a
you?
name. I'm searching for a name which is not there in my phone book. How will you handle that case?
So we first use the function whether hash map contains that name or not. So if it doesn't contain it, we can simply say no results as
Okay.
a display text.
Okay. Okay, can you kind of code this two functions? I want you to write an insert function in which you are inserting something into the phone book. I mean, inserting a number and a name into phone book. And second would be to search via name.
Okay. So let me start with something like this.
Hmm.
We will be getting. Do we also want to add some more
Fields.
functionality here to check whether the number is correct or not? Something
Uh,
like if
I mean, we can,
maybe not,
but
because it can be a different country code and it can be have different numbers. Or if
yeah,
there is a duplicate number that is getting added, but
yeah.
then we'll have to
Actually,
use the
yeah. How do you check if? I mean, that's a separate question, but I mean, let's complete this first. But that is a
okay.
valid question. How do we check if the number which we are inserting is been used by some other name?
Okay. I think we should be able to not really do that easy. So I'm keeping it simple right now. It is just the phone number and name we are talking about, not the contact object. I'm not creating on contact object here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry, this should be a list. So this method will actually return a null here, and the calling method can check if the result is null. It can display a default text of something like it is not existing.
Fair enough.
So in this case also what we'll do, we'll first check if the phone book already contains this number, name, sorry. If it does, we will get use an analyst here. So now this is a scenario where we have two contacts with the same number, name and different numbers.
Okay.
In this case, we can actually do a check if I'm making a completely duplicate entry of the name and person both. Because in my list, I can traverse and check if the number already exists, and then I can skip adding it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, but for now we'll just keep it simple. Now in this case, if the name is already not there in the list, we will create a new array list. Then we'll add this here, and in phone book we will add name, comma, next.
Fair enough. I think this should work for the scenario which we have talked about. There's one compile time issue with this. I mean, code. Can you figure out what is the issue? I can even tell you the line number 6.
Something to do with my syntax, I'm not sure.
So array list, I mean, is of what type? In your case?
Okay, yes. I cannot use
Primitive data types.
I'll have to use the object type here. I cannot use primitive. But will boxing not do this?
Yeah, I think I got an idea. Okay.
I'll have to do similar here as well.
Yeah. Similarly, in line number 22, you cannot just say list.
Yeah. So my edits are not reflecting right now.
Okay, no issues. I think I got an idea. So that should work. And I think that will be of my questions. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Sorry?
Is there anything? I mean, I think I am done with my questions. And
I'm fine here.
Okay, fair enough. So GK, it was nice talking to you, and I'll collect the feedback and forward it to the respective team.
Sure. Thanks, AK, for your time.